Hello everybody and welcome back to Flight Friday.
Warning.
So once we get to about 500 meters we'll pull up.
Warning. Sink rate.
Okay, yeah, so there we go. Yep, okay. Oh my lord! Did that really just happen? Oh, we're dead. We're dead. Today we're going to be taking a look at the CH-53 Super Stallion used by the United States Marine Corps. It is an absolute beast of an aircraft that we're going to be flying today. It has a refueling nozzle in the front and, what is that, a cup holder? I don't know. It has a cup holder in the front too for those long flights where you get thirsty. And, yeah, so we're going to go ahead and jump in the aircraft. We're going to be testing a couple things here. We're going to be testing its maneuverability. It's just basically by maneuverability, I mean overall flight mechanics and all that, and see how everything works. The detail of the aircraft, speaking of detail, let's go ahead and jump in the cockpit here while it's spinning up. We have a very nice dash here. I've seen better, but I'm not complaining. It's a dash, and it has all your gauges and all that you need. Joystick could be better, not even grabbing it. Cyclic definitely could be better, but you know what, those are just kind of little minor things. Doesn't really affect the way the aircraft performs, just aesthetic. It's just not very aesthetically pleasing. We're going to jump back out into third person for a sec and just kind of get a little bit of a better look at this aircraft. It is a very large aircraft, as you can see. I would assume it could probably hold 24 guys maybe. We're going to go ahead and add power to it though, and we're going to go ahead and begin a departure to the, what is this? Do I have a compass in here? Let's see if I have a compass. Oop, just put an auto hover. Do I have a compass in here? I don't think I do. I'm trying to find one. Hold on. Is that a compass? Nope. Is that a compass? Nope. Is that a compass? No. Okay, we don't have a compass in the cockpit. Alright, good to know. So, I believe this is the west because behind me is the east. So, we're going to go ahead and continue west out of here. And we're going to go in third person real quick, and we are going to put our gear up.
Caution. Gear up.
Also, the reason I was quiet for when I was putting my gear up is so you guys could hear the little notification go off that said gear up. That's a nice little feature. I'm pretty sure it also does that with when your sync rate is too high. It will say caution sync rate like over and over again. It gets really annoying. But we're going to go ahead and pull back on the stick real quick and angle it right with some right pedal. So let's go ahead and give it a little bit more right pedal and kind of give it a little bit forward thrust. And we'll kind of work our way slowly but surely over to the runway. We're also going to test, I don't know if I said this already, but we're also going to test if it can auto-rotate. That's obviously a big thing that aircraft need to be able to do, especially, well, not aircraft, just helicopters in general need to do in order to pass the FAA flight regulations. And basically, if you get shot down in ArmA, that's not really a good thing because it happens quite a bit. It is a video game, and you need to be able to land the aircraft safely and get out of it, and then try to just avoid dying in general. So we're going to go ahead and depart out of here eastbound, and we're just going to go fly around for a little bit. And I don't know if I'm going to try to land on a roof. I don't really think this thing is suited for roof landings, but I don't know. We're just going to see what it can do. The ramp can open.
Caution. Ramp.
So that's another cool thing. It says caution ramp when you open the ramp. So that's pretty cool. You can open the ramp, you can level the ramp, and you can close the ramp. Obviously, this aircraft can get going at substantial speeds. So we're just going to go ahead and close the ramp all the way now. Let's see, what is manual fire? Does this thing shoot? I don't think it does. It has a laser designator. That's probably what that cup holder thing is up there. So that's pretty cool. We're going to go and turn off manual fire real quick. So we're going to go ahead and cancel manual fire. Let's see what else it has in the scroll wheel options. We can switch to the co-pilot seat. That's something that I don't really see too often in an aircraft here. Let's see. We have collision lights, we have lights, and then we have our gear and the ramp capabilities. So that's about it for that. Let's go ahead and level out here and just kind of continue to fly. I think the last thing we're going to do is do the auto rotation. So far, though, I am liking the way the aircraft handles. It handles very nice, very smooth, not too heavy on workload or anything like that. You kind of have to fight with it a little bit depending on how fast you're going, but as I'm only going about 170 right now, it's not really that big of an issue. But if we go ahead and increase our angle of attack, let's go ahead and see how fast we can get this thing going. I think when I've flown it in prior experiences with just out me recording, I've gotten up to like 300, so it definitely can get going if you need it to. So it's also mainly a transport aircraft, whether it be cargo or crew or troops or whatever you want to call them. So that's basically the main purpose, and it can get from point A to point B pretty quick. So we're gonna go ahead and just lower our altitude.
Warning, sink rate.
Sink rate? What do you mean sink rate? We're almost 1,000 meters off the ground. What are you talking about? We're just going to go ahead and continue this way, though, and we're going to add a little bit more power to it and see if we can get it going up to 300. Yeah, there we go. We got it up to 300, no problem. And I'm barely even trying on this thing. Look at that. I almost pointing my nose up, I think, or maybe not. I don't know. But let's just go ahead. Let's fly through these mountains here and see if we can dodge some things. Yeah, as the speed increases, it definitely gets a little bit harder to turn, and the maneuverability definitely goes down just due to drag and all of that and air resistance. So we're just going to go ahead and continue flying through here. I think I'm going to try to shoot down that little valley right there. I don't even think that's wide enough to get the body of this aircraft through there. So we're going to fly over this.
Caution, maximum speed.
Maximum speed. We're going 320 right now, so this is apparently the maximum
Caution,
speed.
maximum speed.
Alright, got it. Maximum speed. We get it. So right now we're basically
Caution,
horizontal.
maximum speed.
So let's go ahead and head back to the airport. So far, I really like the way this
Caution,
thing's
maximum
flying.
speed.
We're going 370 right now, which is just absolutely insane.
Caution, maximum speed.
So it's saying maximum speed, but it will definitely still go over its maximum speed.
Caution, maximum speed.
Yes, I'm aware. I'm aware that we have reached our maximum
Caution,
speed.
maximum
Alright, you know what?
speed.
Just so you shut up, I'm going to go ahead and slow this thing down. There we go. You happy? Alright. So, I believe the maximum speed notification starts at 320, which it's okay. That's definitely a very, very good speed for a helicopter. For a jet, not so much. But this isn't a jet. This is a helicopter. And considering how large the helicopter is, that's pretty impressive. This thing's pretty heavy, but once it gets going, it will get going. So I think what we're gonna do now is we're gonna try to auto rotate, and if we successfully auto rotate it, then we're gonna go in and see what else we can do with it, just to toy with it a little bit. So it's not a super short episode. But we're also, once we auto rotate it, we'll go ahead and get on the ground, and we will take a tour of the inside of the aircraft, the inside of the aircraft, and look at all the detail on the inside, and we'll put the ramp down and all that so we can walk up in it. So we're gonna go and flip around real quick. We're at about 700 meters right now and climbing, and we're going 200 kilometers an hour, so that should be ample amount of speed and altitude for an auto rotation. So let's just go ahead and flip this thing around, and I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to line up with the runway in time, because this thing its turning radius is so wide. There we go. We should be good. So we're gonna wait till we get a little bit further over the runway until we begin to until we cut the engine, and then once I begin to cut the engine, I'm gonna go ahead and explain the auto rotation procedures. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it right about now, so we can go ahead and turn our engine off. We want to immediately go cyclic down, so we want to hold Z if you're playing on a keyboard, and keep the nose relatively up, put the gear down obviously so we can land. And this is pretty much the same procedure throughout all aircraft when it comes to auto rotation. I guess I should rather say rotorcraft, or rotorcraft could be classified as planes, I guess, if planes have props, but I don't know, I'm just rambling. So let's just go ahead and kind of slow up a little bit. We're going to run out of runway, I think, so we might have to circle this thing around. So let's see if we can circle this around a little bit. We have a little bit of altitude to toy with, and we'll give us a little bit more speed going forward, and then we'll yaw forward, or yaw backwards in a minute. So, or not yaw, we'll pull backwards in a minute. So we want to get, this is not going well. Alright, hold on, we want to add power, otherwise we're going to crash this thing, because I just messed up by, alright, so we might be, yeah, no, we ran out of runway. That was really bad. So let's go ahead and let's flip this thing around real quick. Hold on. I think I'm just going to do a standing still auto rotation and not even go forward, and see how that goes, because we ran out of runway pretty quick. I think we were just going a little bit too fast, and I overestimated the length of the runway. So we're going to go ahead and engine off right here, and we're just going to go ahead and pull up, and we're going to go in first person for a sec, see if we have a gauge that tells us, nope, none of those work. Okay. So we're just going to kind of hopefully not die by doing this, and keep pulling back on the stick, and just keep the blades, or keep the air flowing through the blades. And right now we're gonna want to pull up on the, there we go. Yeah, see, that wasn't so bad. If our engine was out, we would have had enough thrust to pull up there by putting backup on the cyclic. I'm not flying with advanced controls, so the auto rotation procedure was a little bit different than it would be in reality or with ArmA advanced controls. Or if my engine actually was out, just because the engine will turn back on if you hold shift. So right now I think what we're going to do is we're going to gain a bit of altitude, and once we gain that altitude, we're just going to go ahead and see how fast we can get this thing to go and see if the airframe will tear apart. But yeah, actually, you know what? I think one thing that I could do to make the airframe tear apart is if I set this thing down real quick, and I'm going to go into advanced settings. This is going to be interesting because I've actually never tested this. I'm going to go into advanced settings, and I'm going to go ahead and, yes, I'm aware. I'm going to land. You don't need to tell me to pull up. Don't worry. I'm a professional pilot, and ArmA, definitely not. Don't have my license. Don't listen to me. Let's go and get out of the aircraft real quick, and let's go over to configure game flight controls advanced. There we go. So if we get in this now, this will be a lot different. So we're gonna want to come over here, put engine on. So we're gonna let that turn on. And what else do we have here? Manual trim set. That's interesting. See, I don't wheel brake off. That's really cool. Okay, that is cool. That is really cool. This adds a whole lot more options, so we can get rolling forward really easily with this. And this thing's really touchy, which is really cool. I like this aircraft a lot when we're doing this. And I'm just gonna put it back down on the ground so I don't crash. And while we're rolling forward, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to increase thrust, and we are going to go ahead and pull up. We're going to give it the cyclic all the way up, as you can indicate. I'm pointing at my screen right now, assuming that you can see it. But if you see the little white bar that's about to go down, yeah, it's second to the right, second last on right. So if we kind of lower this a little bit, I'm just going to go ahead and put it all the way up so I can get in as much altitude as fast as possible. And we're basically going to gain a bunch of altitude and basically do a nosedive for however long we can until I feel it's necessary to start pulling back up and see how fast we can get this thing going. But it is definitely different flying with the advanced controls. Flying with the advanced controls is very strange. It's very finicky. It's just like flying a real aircraft, I would assume, minus the fact that I'm flying with keyboard and mouse. And sometimes I'll fly with a controller, but I don't really fly that often. With a controller, I'm just trying to gain some altitude here so we can toy around with this thing. I think once I get to 1,000, we're going to go ahead and attempt this. I don't think it's really going to go too well because I'm not really used to these controls here, and two, it's ArmA and the physics are a little bit demented. Also, if we survive our nosedive that we're about to pull off here in a sec, I'll try to land with advanced controls and see how that goes. But like I said, I do not fly with advanced controls just because I think that they're too strange and just too... You have to think too much to use advanced controls, so I don't fly with advanced controls. Once we get to 1,000, we'll go 1,200, so that way we have a little bit more altitude to toy with, which we're getting there pretty quick. This aircraft definitely climbs, and we can still see the ground, so, I mean, I guess that's a good sign. We'll have some kind of visual thing to go off of to see when we need to start pulling up. So, whoa, hello. You are definitely a finicky one, aren't you? So we're at 1,200 and we are going forward. So we're gonna want to start going this way, and we're just gonna keep going like this. And let's go ahead and do a nosedive.
Sink rate.
Yes, I'm aware of sink rate, but we're trying to get it going like a substantial amount.
Warning. Sink
So
rate.
once we get to about 500 meters, we'll pull up.
Warning. Sink rate.
Okay, yeah, so there we go. Yep, okay. Oh my lord! Did that really just happen? Oh, we're dead. We're dead. We're dead. We're dead. Yep, there we go. Oh my god. Okay, so if you're wondering what just happened there, we basically just, when we pulled up on the when we pulled back on the stick, the helicopter pretty much just lost its mind, broke the main rotors. I'm pretty sure they just, like, snapped over my head. And I think we lost our tail rotor, too. We did a backflip in the air and then started spinning, went on our side, and crashed into the side of that hill there. So, yeah, that's ArmA Advanced Controls for you. And there's the CH-43, CH-53. Next week, I think I am going to do either a Chinook or, you know what, I might do a plane next week. That's what I think I'll do. I think I might do an FA-18 or something along those lines. So, stay tuned for that. This was definitely an interesting episode, to say the least. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you like the video, go and leave a like rating down below. If you really like the video and you want more of it, go ahead and subscribe to my channel for weekly uploads every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you have any suggestions, go and leave them down in the comment box below. And, yeah, that's about it. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.